Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Brian Thatcher, and welcome to Mercy Unbound. It's a show that aims to provide hope, an avenue for healing, and one that will help you live and then better understand the great mercy of God. With me today, I have a very special guest. He's from India. He's traveling, visiting here in the States, Cardinal Anthony Poola. And he was one of two Indian priest installed by Pope Francis in 2022, and he's the first Dalit, pardon me if I mispronounce that, Your Eminence, or untouchable.
Correct. Yes.
I remember back from grade school learning about the caste system, many years ago. You also, I understand, is the first priest to speak or cardinal to speak Telugu, a language spoken by more than 75 million people in India. And you represent one of the poorest regions on the subcontinent. You were born in 1961 into the untouchable class, in which 2/3 of India's Catholics belong. Although discrimination on the basis of the caste system was abolished by the Indian Constitution more than 70 years ago, they're still sometimes oppressed, even persecuted, and relegated to menial work. Your Eminence, welcome to Mercy Unbound.
Thank you very much.
Now, you've been cardinal for just around a little over a year, is that correct?
A little less than a year, because this August I will be completing 1 year.
Okay. Now, let's go back to that year, maybe before. How did you get the call or notification from Rome that you were going to be appointed cardinal?
I didn't receive any call or any conversation with an initiator in India, which is in Delhi. Usually when we are promoted as bishops and archbishops, we have, they ask us our opinion and our acceptance. But this, all of a sudden, so Pope Francis called out my name and he elevated me as cardinal. Then the friends from Italy, they started texting me that Pope Francis has announced you as a cardinal. Then I was thinking, I do not know perfect Italian and my friends does not know perfect English. So I was texting them, I am only Archbishop of Hyderabad. Pope Francis elevated me a year ago. So maybe you are mistaken. I am only Archbishop of Hyderabad, promoted from Cardinal. Then another friend from Sicily, same matter. Then both of them told me, don't worry, we will send the link. So when I saw the link, it was 21 minutes. So, there were some name, Antonios, that, this and all. Then I said, maybe it may be other names. Then the third priest from India, he called me. I told you, you will be cardinal one day. Now you see, like that he was telling. Then I said, some friends keep calling me from Italy also. You are also a mistaken man, I said. Then he said, I am going to send the link. And he said, though there is a 21 minutes link in YouTube, but on 17 minutes, 3 seconds, your name and the archdiocese name is there. So then I saw it was Pope Francis telling me, Archivescovo Anthony Poola, Diocese, the Hyderabad. So it was a shock in a first moment, and it was a so wonderful surprise for me, and I consider it as a grace of God. And I am always grateful to Pope Francis for his love towards Church in India, in a more special way to South India and also our Telugu region. So
Your
that's how my name, yeah.
yeah, Your Eminence, most Americans have no idea about the abject poverty in most of the world. I know my family children don't. And when I say, wealth is measured by if you have enough food to eat that day in many places. What was it like growing up? you were very poor, weren't you?
Yes.
And then you were allowed or privileged to get some schooling, and they had to have seen something in you that interested them. Maybe we were. Did you work hard in school? Did you really apply yourself in your studies?
Yeah. Yes. So in our village, there is a elementary school that is from first grade to fifth grade. So I used to go to school, but in the school, there is no difference. We are all same. So that way, my life has been very comfortable and easy in my village. But when we come out of the school, so we are called outcast or untouchable. Therefore, our houses will be at the corner of the village. So the corner of the village, so little way outside the village, our houses will be there because we are outcast or untouchable enough. So perhaps if we go into the village, if we are thirsty and we have to wait for the people to come to the well, when they come and draw the water. So then we have to hold our hands and drink water like this. So I have experienced that. And we were not allowed to enter into the Hindu temples. And of course, all other like swimming and other places of playgrounds and all, we had the access. So since I am a Dalit, which we call is untouchable, and my family was poor too, but elementary education, our Andhra Pradesh government is free 1 to 5th, especially for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. So that way I had schooling until 5th grade, and I was promoted from for 6th grade, and that is called junior high school, maybe in English we say. So that was the time we have to walk from my village to go to this high school, like 4 kilometers. We have to walk. But as boys, we were together, some 20 boys from our village and another 10 from other villages. We used to go by walk, which we never felt. We don't have any chappals or shoes. So that is about my experience, about the poverty in my village and also in my family.
I've always been a strong believer in my own family that the kids need to get an education. And that's, you
Yeah.
know that well, don't you?
Yes. Yes.
And isn't that one of the emphasis of your desires in your heart to give these people, all the poor people, a better education so they can better themselves?
Yeah. And see, after my seventh grade and eighth grade also, though I was a school first, then my father told me that is enough for you. It is enough that how much loan I take from the bank, how much I have paid, how much is due more. So like that, he told me that I have to stay at home. He is unable to help me for further education. So that's how 1 year I was at home, and so then we had a summer camp where in my native parish, the Dutch missionaries, Holland missionaries, Mill Hill missionaries were there. So the pastor used to come for the children's camp in our village. There will be 60 to 70 children, and that is the preparation to receive First Holy Communion and confirmations. So I knew by heart all the prayers because my father was a catechist, and every Sunday I used to ring the bell and call all the people to the church. So I think the father, the Mill Hill missionary, had eye on me, and he was asking other catechists and other people, who is this boy? Then they told him, he is Anthony's son, the catechist, your own catechist's son. Okay, what is he studying? Like that. Then his father stopped him after eighth grade. Then this missionary called my father and asked him, and he said the same thing. It is enough, father, because I have no financial stability to allow him to go further. Then he gave a slap on him on his face. He gave a nice slap and said, "You stop the talk. From now onwards, he is my boy, my son. I am taking him for further education." So when the schools began, he gave little money to my father, and so for maybe the charge, and also for some dresses, casual dress and uniform, one trunk, plate, glass, all the other things. And he put me in that apostolic school, which is attached with the minor seminary. So there I attended ninth, 10th grade. I did 1 year of Latin and English grammar. Then I went for high school, like 11th and 12th grade. So outside being in the seminary. Then after that, I thought and I requested that I would like to go for further studies because all my friends were writing their name like BCom first year, BA first year, something like that. So I had, desire to pursue studies. So I did BCom, Bachelor of Commerce. So 3 years. And after 3 years, so in this, while we are studying also, we write some group one, group two texts. And there we get chance to work as a clerks in the banks, etc. In fact, I got one or two like that. I was also promoted for a PG in the government college, which has a scholarship. So that was the time I felt the calling, and I told my mentor and the senior priest that I would like to go to the seminary. So my father didn't like it. My brothers also a little bit so and so. And my father did not talk to me a word for almost a couple of years.
Wow.
But it's later when I was finishing my theology, we have the ordination to diaconate. That was the time he really appreciated, and he appreciated my decision to become a priest. So unfortunately, just before my diaconate, I lost my father. But I was ordained in 92. My mother was there. She has seen me almost like 5 years that as a priest. She came to my parish. She stayed with me. She was very happy. All my family are also very, very happy. Why I made this decision was my family is poor. My father is unable to support me for further studies. It was the missionaries who helped me. Therefore, I thought I will become a priest so that I can give life to the poor children because there are so many poor children. In our native parish, we have almost like 36 substations, village substations. In all these villages, the Dalits are there, untouchables are there. So I should be a ray of hope to them also. So that was my decision. And by God's grace, I was ordained for the Diocese of Kadapa. I was a priest for 16 and a half years. And after that, in 2008 February, I got a call from Nunciature, the papal, so representative, and he told me that Pope Benedict XVI has seen some good qualities in me. He wants you to take up Kurnool Diocese. So that was the good news, and it was a boom for all the region in Rayalaseema, especially to people of outcasts or untouchables, and also other people. Because as a catechist, my father knew so many villages, and he had good contacts with all the high caste people too. So that is good news for me. And I served Cardinal Diocese for 12 and a half years. And in 2021, I think, 2020 November, I was called by the nunciature telling that Pope Francis has appointed me as the Archbishop of Hyderabad. So 2021 January 3rd, I took over the diocese. And in 2022, I got a call from the same Pope, Pope Francis, that he elevated me the Cardinal. So that is my life story as a priest, bishop, archbishop, and cardinal. I never dreamt, I never looked for it. I was a simple missionary working in simple parishes. And last 5 years, from 2003 to 2008, that was the time I was in charge of CFCA, Christian Foundation for Children and Aging. And I was also in charge of all the schools in the Diocese of Kadapa. That 5 years was a wonderful opportunity for me to work for the poor children in our boarding homes, hostels, and also in the schools. So I felt, so my life dream has come true. So that was that brought me a lot of happiness and contentment in my priestly life and also in my episcopal ministry.
Tell us a little bit more about that foundation for the children and aging. What is its purpose, and how did you accomplish the goals?
Yeah. Uh, we have rural villages in the diocese, either it is in Kadapa or in Kurnool. There are four districts: Kadapa, Chittoor, Kurnool, and Anantapur. So, which is a region of Rayalaseema, but still part of Andhra Pradesh. So, we have so many poor children. And I mean, not me, before me, there were some 15 years before, I think, the first bishop, Bishop S.A. Arulaya, is a late Bishop S.A. Arulaya. So he got in touch with this CFCA in Kansas City and also Guatemala. So we give the photographs of the poor children who are joining for the first grade. So they should be at the age of 4 and 5 years. So we take photograph, and behind it we give the parents' address, village, and the school name, etc. So that is called like children's records. You know, so we used to send to Kansas City, and there is a mission cooperation plan, MCP, in United States. Even now it is there. So that organization used to ask for appeals from different dioceses in 50 states in United States. So they used to get mission appeals, and they used to preach, and we used to get sponsors. So for per month, they paid $25 per child to help him go to school, maintain his hostel, books, uniform, shoes, etc. So that how we got some 3,000 children were sponsored during my time. 3,000 children all over the diocese. And that's how we used to run our hostels, orphanages, schools, and there will be director for priest who is taken care, his maintenance. And if there are for girls, there is hostel, and there used to be a community of religious women where 2, 3, or 4, 5 will be there to take care of these children and help them to go to school and pursue studies. So that's how we had this organization. which supports. And apart from that, we have also little congruva from Rome for our priests, men and religious women, and for the maintenance, there used to be, good amount of what to say, congruva from Rome. But as the eventually the years passed by, that congruva is lessened, reduced to a great extent. So therefore, a program like this would help. And we have also program which was started by our bishop in Kadapa, in Italy and Germany also. We used to have this sponsorship program. And in Europe, there are also some agencies like, what is it, the Church in Need. Every diocese has a Church in Need project where they help us to construct a home for the religious women who take care of the school and boarding children. And they also help us for presbyteries and also to construct schools and hostels, etc. We used to write to these agencies. And we also write to Papal Foundation, that Italian Bishops' Conference, and that is the second, support where we receive for our schools and the poor children. And as we are doing this, there are some individual sponsors who visit the children once in a year. Not all the sponsors will visit. Some sponsors they visit, and those who are committed, those sponsors who loved the ministry there, they used to also support us in a big way, especially for the construction, for the computers, for the establishment of lab, etc. So this is how that education ministry is going on in that Kadapa diocese and Kurnool. Now, as Archbishop of Hyderabad, it is little different. We have schools and we have surplus in the schools to support, and we have colleges and also one autonomous college degree and PG. So with these proceeds, we also help because we do have what is that, immigrants, no, migrated, children migrated, because there are so many industries in and around twin cities of Hyderabad and Secunderabad. So there are migrants. There are also, rat pickers. There are also some orphans, So this is where our concentration will go to them, especially eradication of child labor, upliftment of the women empowerment programs, etc.
Yeah, it's if someone wanted more information, or how would they reach you or the societies that are writing for appeals? How would people get connected if they were to watch
We
it?
yeah, we created a website for our Archdiocese of Hyderabad, and we have also three societies. So apart from this, one is the Archdiocese of Hyderabad Society. That is one society. We have website. And for educational activities also, we have a Hyderabad Educational Society. HAES, we say, HEA, Hyderabad Archdiocese Education Society. There is also a website for it. And we have also has HASSS, Hyderabad Archdiocese Social Service Society. Because our FCRA is very strict, they don't want to mix all the funds in one society. If it is for education, it should go to the education society. If it is about the social service activities, it should go to that society. And for pastoral reasons and other matters of concern of the Archdiocese of Hyderabad, we have this society. So with this, our work is easy, and it will also is easy for us to submit the accounts to Home Ministry and get the FCRA in a proper channel.
Your Eminence, are there any Catholic universities in your region of, your area where you're the cardinal over?
Yeah, especially in Hyderabad itself, there is a what is that Loyola Academy. It is run by the Jesuits. There is and we have our autonomous colleges which are affiliated to the universities that are available. As for me now, only Jesuits, there is no Catholic university as such. They are affiliated to Usmania University, Nagarjuna University, so which pertain or belong to the government of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana.
Now, as far as
But we have our own junior colleges, degree and PG colleges, and autonomous colleges. But they are all affiliated to the university which is close to our colleges.
okay. Now, take your typical elementary school. How many kids would be in a classroom or in one grade in the elementary school?
Yeah, in the lower classes, there used to be 40, first, second, third grade. So when they come to the fourth grade, maybe around 30. So in the fifth grade, maybe like, so 25 to 30 were there in my days. Now it is, I think, 1:40. And if there are more than 40 children in the same class, they divide it into section A, B section, something like that.
Okay.
So, but average, I can say now 40. Now they have reduced to 30. The government itself has reduced, so 30. Yeah.
Does the government help at all with paper or pencils or anything at all, or are you on your own pretty much?
Yeah, that's what I said. Now, from first grade to fifth grade, it is a free education in the government schools. And even we have private school also, we had teachers. Now we don't have teachers. We have to have our own private teachers. So, and government also gives for the textbooks. Textbooks are free. I think for a scheduled caste and a scheduled tribe, until 10th grade, it is free. The textbooks are free. And all the other study material is given by the respective dioceses, Catholic dioceses.
I find it interesting.
And we have scholarships, one-time scholarship by the government for the students who have reservation, like scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, BC, EBC, etc. And there is also scholarships on merit basis by the government.
No, Your Eminence, I find it fascinating just going over your life story of how you started as a young boy, as a untouchable, and then along every years went, you were put in these different societies and social service agencies, and you were developing and learning all the time. And then Pope Francis appoints you cardinal. It's just like God's providence. Now you're going to come back and help the same group of people that you used to be involved with. I think that's fascinating.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
It seems like the church, in a way, has taken a fresh approach in reaching the marginalized or those on the periphery, and it's very hopeful, as a Catholic.
Yes, yes. Yeah, that was really providential that Pope Francis, immediately after his election, he said, how I wish a Catholic church for the poorest of the poor. And in all his teachings, he exhorts cardinals, bishops, archbishops, and the laity, and all the clergy, etc. He says, reach out to the peripheries, poorest of the poor. So a poor church for the poor. So that is very, very, fascinating to me. That touched my life too, and that made me, more than 10 plus years now. So we make our people, the faithful, and also the priests and religious to reach out to the peripheries, and we make it that we reach out to the peripheries very much.
Beautiful. Your Eminence, any thoughts as we close out today's show you want to share with the people who will be watching this or listening to it via podcast?
Yeah. First of all, I want to thank you for giving this opportunity through my friend Roy. Secondly, it is a wonderful opportunity for me through your channel reaching out to the poor. And one thing I want to say, I am a simple missionary, so I don't have any studies or degrees and so on. Only what I did was my BTH while I was in India, and I was here in US from 2000 to 2003. I did one CPE, clinical pastoral education. I was in Michigan, St. Joseph City. From there, I moved to Loyola in order to pursue my studies in pastoral matters. So, but it was not possible for me because 2003, my bishop called me back that he wanted me to take over that CFCA since I am in US. So you go to Kansas, have attend that interview and come back to the diocese. That's how I went. So as my top priority is for education, it was a simple missionary who saw me, maybe who had some belief in me that I may study well and be a good priest. So that was the first step in my life. And even my father, though he was unhappy, but he was very happy later on. So they all cooperated and supported me, especially in forming myself as a good priest. So all my ministry, I'm very grateful to, especially to the United States of America, who supported me through this sponsorship. Not only CFCA, but my friends also supported me. They keep supporting me, especially for the education. So my top priority was education. It is because of these missionaries I pursued further studies. Therefore, I should become in their place, to reach out to the poor people, marginalized, downtrodden, outcast. So, and with this Pope Francis, my desire, my commitment became so powerful, and I'm committed so much, and that's how we do. Especially here, there are so many slums and street children in Hyderabad Archdiocese too. So that gives me a lot of satisfaction and contentment in my priestly life and also in the episcopal ministry. So I want to thank you once again, and I hope we will be in touch with you and for further information about ministry. So we have also the pastoral ministry. In the pastoral ministry, the catechism, as you know, of the children, and what is catechizing the young people, married couple, and also we have a family apostolate in our archdiocese of Hyderabad, and family of faith. Another group is there. We have youth ministry, and we have also social service society. As I said, this eradication of child labor, supporting the children who are in slums, who are domestic workers. So the vulnerable section, especially children and women. So we do a lot of services through the social service society. So three, I can say, pastoral ministry, social service, and education. For me, my top priority is education. My passion is for education. I want the children, especially because education brings all the changes in one's life. It's not how much money you give, how much land you give, and all that doesn't work. But it is the education that matters. So, for which I commit myself, and I also, through my talks, directly or indirectly, I inspire my priests and religious and the lay faithful around me. So, thank you very much once again, and for you and for all the viewers who are attending this interview. So, God bless you, all your endeavors, and let us pray for one another. So, pray for us, and our prayers are assured for you and for your work.
Thank you, Your Eminence. Would you mind just giving everyone who will watch this show or listen to it a special blessing?
Oh, surely, surely. So, may the blessings of Almighty Father come upon all of you, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
People, I hope you enjoyed the show with Cardinal Anthony Poola from India. Please subscribe and share and let your friends know about this great work this Cardinal Prince of the Church is doing. It's an amazing story. I hope you really enjoyed it. And stay tuned next time for Mercy Unbound, and have a blessed day. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel for the video portion. The podcast can be heard at anchor.fm/drbryan, Bryan Thatcher, Thatcher, and on all the major podcast forums. I would love to speak at your church or conference, and please consider supporting our efforts to spread the truth to a hurting world. Thank you again. And for more information, go to the website at drbryanThatcher.com.